Let's look at another slide which shows the name Shumaila. Shumaila in Bantu means proclamation of God, hearing of God, preaching of God. Now, if we look at a similar name in Hebrew, Shumaila or Shumaila, of course one can immediately see the difference there, which is an E, an I in English, an E in Bantu. Now that E, sometimes it's vocalized, other times it's completely not vocalized, depending on where it appears in the verb, either at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the verb. Shumaila or Shumaila in Hebrew means to hear God, to publish God, to proclaim God, to tell about God, according to Strong's dictionary. The same appears in Bantu, as I've already indicated. It means to hear, to reach, to proclaim, to publish, to regard, to report, to sound. These two are in actual fact identical in meaning, also identical in the way they are verbalized. They mean exactly the same. In the previous slide, we discussed the word Shumaila or Shumaila. This word was at one time in the past used to form a proper noun, a Shumail, translated as Ishmael in English. The proper noun, a Shumail in Hebrew, was formed by affixing a ya at the beginning of the word. This prefix ya denotes the pronoun he. Also other pronouns, not exclusively a he. Remember that ya is also a Bantu prefix denoting a pronoun he. The derivation of this proper noun, Shumaila, is from Bantu and Hebrew verb Shumail, thus making the etymology of this pronoun convergent in both Bantu and Hebrew, indicating that the two languages are similar. In this slide, we are confronted with a name that has been translated from Hebrew to English as Abraham. This, of course, is a translation that is not the real meaning of the word or the name. Now, if we look at Strong's dictionary or Strong's reference, we see that Strong's has described it like this: contracted from H1. We know when we look at H1, it says Abba, meaning father. And we know that in Bantu, father is also Abba and has cognates as well for father, which are close to Abba, a Bantu name for father. Cognates such as Baba and others as well. If you continue with Strong's description, explanation, Strong says, and an unused root. Why would they say it's an unused root? Because the root is not commonly used in scripture, in Hebrew scripture. Hence they say probably meaning. We are unsure of its meaning, but we guess it to mean populace. As for the Bantu people, we know what this means. Let's break down this compound name, this compound word, and see how it was formed. We are not going to use English translation. We're going to use Hebrew. Now, how was this word formed? This word in Hebrew, when broken down, it is broken down into 3 separate objects. One is Abba, which means father. The second one is Ra, which means person, man, and a root of uprightness. Now, because a man is straight, hence it becomes the root of uprightness. And the other unknown, unused root, homo, which in English it says ham or ham. Now we can see that this word Abba, this compound word Abba, Ra, homo, is the word or the name that was given to, in English, Abraham, given to him by Ahaya Ya Tabot Shemawe. Ahaya or Ya of host, his name is, or is his name. And this name, if we look at it from Bantu, we can see the formation, similar formation of this word. We can see the etymology of this word. We can see how this word originated. Like we said, Abba in Bantu is Abba as well. The Ra in Hebrew is the same with the Ra in Bantu. Everything is exactly the same. Now, the homo issue, which is an unused root. In Bantu, we know it is not unused, but it is an ancient word that was unused in scripture, but that continued to be used by the people of the book. Now, this homo in Bantu means much possession, rich in possession, many possession, unending possession, huge possessions. We can see even in the Hebrew letters, which are similar to Bantu letters. The Ha are the hands lifted up, and the Ma are continuous assignment to oneself, continuous attachment to oneself like a flowing river. So one is attaching riches, it's attaching things to oneself or to another. This root, this word, homo, has also cognates that are used throughout the continent. Some of these cognates are huma, fuma, kuma, kuma. So this is a well-known Bantu word which means multiplicity in possession. Now what God was saying to Abram in English, Abarumo in Hebrew, Abarumo in Hebrew, the Ru in Rumo, meaning upright, more meaning continuously attaching to oneself. So Abram in English is actually abarumo in Hebrew, meaning the father who is upright continually. This therefore means that Ahaya, elevated the name of Abram in English, Abarumo in Hebrew, from the father who is upright to Abarahumo, a father rich in possession of people, of persons. Now, this has been revealed as some other names in Hebrew are revealed. Example, Banayamin, which in English is Benjamin, in Hebrew is Banayamin. In Bantu, it's Banayamin. Futuela, it's a Hebrew verb similar to a Bantu verb, futuela, with the wo, or futuhela, with the h. Both are cognates, one with the wo, the other one with the h. We know that Nafutulaya was derived from the Hebrew verb, which is exactly the same as the Bantu verb, Nafutuela. So the derivation or the etymology of this name, Nafutulaya, which in English has been translated to Naphtali, comes from Futuela and Futuela, which are Bantu cognates and similar to the verb Futuela in Hebrew. This is also another name of Bantu origin, and there are few others of the children of Yakubi, which we have discussed as well in previous presentations. The 12 children of Yakubi, Bana ya Yakubi, had Bantu names. Abaraumo, the Bantu derived name, Yatsihleka, Isaac, according to the English translation. We know in Bantu that the prefix is the same as the prefix in Hebrew, which denotes a pronoun, he. We also know that z, z, and others are used interchangeably in Bantu. So Yazihleka, Wazihleka are all Bantu derived names. They are just cognates. For instance, uma ubaba wakini athi sukumani nisukumeni, that's Bantu. Hebrew, uma abayakini amari shukumani nishukumeni. If your father says rise up, you must rise up, we know that amare, which is to say, is also a Bantu word to say, whereas we now use it as are instead of amare. So the two words amare in Hebrew and are in Bantu are the same.